thank everybody for having me here today. Matt, thank you for inviting me as the chairman of the PMAC, who I know Tim and Nancy, Janet, everybody's been involved for a long time. I can remember when you were getting this off the ground, and it's wonderful. Great participation here by a number of different, different entities throughout our larger community. I was looking at the website today, actually, trying to figure out what exactly you wanted me to speak about today. I know last year I came here and I updated everybody about what was going on in Merchantville, and of course, Mara, who had just, I think it was your second week on the job last year as the Community Development Director, so we had a lot to talk about. A lot of that stuff is still going on in Merchantville. We're still working on our downtown redevelopment and moving that forward. In fact, have a developer on board and going through initial due diligence, so it's very exciting. I think there was an older Brennan that was the mayor when we started this thing, from an older vintage. But it's really exciting. Mara's done a lot of that hard work. A lot of our community partners from Merchantville have really been engaged, and we look forward to moving that forward, hopefully in the next couple of years, groundbreaking and really revitalizing the downtown district. So then I looked on the website and I looked at the flyer and I saw, okay, it says that why your businesses are critical to the success of our communities. That was what the mayor and I are supposed to speak about tonight. And so I took a couple minutes and I jotted some things down about why I think all of your businesses are important to and critical to the success of the borough of Merchantville, the township of Pennsauken, the larger community. And really, it comes down to a couple things. One, your individual success drives additional investment in our downtowns. If you're successful, other people are going to look around and say, wow, look at that business. It's come in, it's been a part of that community for 30 years. It's been a part of that community for 6 months. Look at them, they have real roots in that community. I'm going to invest in that town. When they see an empty storefront, when they see an opportunity for development, that's why you're critical to the success of our community. Additionally, the services that you provide to our communities make our communities comprehensive. It means that people can come to Merchantville, Pennsauken, or larger community, and they can live here, they can work here, they can play here. They don't need to drive to, the Cherry Hill Mall. They don't need to drive to out to Marlton to find things, because they have boutiques, they have service industry, they have any lawyers, and Legal Shield, of course, is everywhere. So I think it's important in this day and age, and what we see, the metrics that we see is that the demographics and people that are moving into towns, they want to be able to live there, they want to be able to shop there, they want to be able to play there, and that's really what our focus has been, and that's why what you do is critical to our success. And then when you're successful, you become part of the community, and that's not just part of the community in the way that you're serving in what you do every day, but one of the critical elements of PMAC and what you've done is giving back to the community. And that is really important, because it's not just from the mud strut, which emanated out of PMAC, to any of your other community involvement. It's important because the residents who come out, the people who actually come to these events, need to know that you're invested in their community, above and beyond just, hey, look, I have a storefront here, I'm making money. I'm trying to make money. They need to know that you actually care about the community, and PMAC does an incredible job of showing that. So that's why I think it's important that you're all critical to our success. I guess the question then becomes, how can I help you? How can Jack help you? And really it comes down to a couple things. Economic development tools. I talked about the downtown redevelopment. We're also working on development efforts in the west end of our town, and that Route 130 corridor, which, the entrance to Pennsauken and Merchantville off Route 130 there, Maple Avenue, is a mess. It's been a mess forever. There are a lot of challenges to that. We're working with Camden, our other community partner, to try and create a more welcoming entrance to our communities there. Coordinate how else can we help? We have to coordinate. We, being the borough, or the township, has to coordinate with PMAC. And our business and professional group. I look at Merchantville, we have a small business professional group. It's important that they coordinate with you guys as a resource, but also to understand what's going on in our community. Because it's a part-time job for me, it's a part-time job for Jack. My staff is limited, and so it's important that these businesses that are in town that might not be involved in PMAC but are interested in the community being successful also know that you're there. The next thing is, and I think one of the things that I've been focusing on in my most recent term is working with our electeds at all levels to try and find tools for all of you to be successful. Beata is a perfect example of legislation that came in and moved you guys 3 fairways down here and allowed you from a corporate perspective to pull everybody together and achieve a vision and a model that the executives wanted to achieve and the board wanted to achieve. And that was because of legislation provided for tax benefits to you to commit that resource there. On an even smaller scale, recently I had an opportunity to sit down with Assemblywoman Pat Egan-Jones, who isn't our district, but she and Senator Nielsen Cruz Perez right now have a bill pending, and this is more Merchantville centric for the moment, but in the legislature that allows for tax credits. It's a Main Street assistance program, and it was really designed for Woodbury. But I went to them and said, look, this is great for Woodbury, but what if you created a step-down version for a town like Merchantville? Because it's based upon employees and where they live. The reality is Merchantville is rather small. I think we all know that. And so to get employees to come and be in that town and meet the criteria of the legislation was very difficult. But that doesn't take away from the fact that Merchantville needs tax credits and needs tax assistance to the businesses to be able to come in and invest, like I said at the beginning. So those sorts of efforts and what we're trying to do on our side to move the ball forward are critical. They're critical to your success, just like your investment is critical to our success. And I really just, I'll end with saying that it's not just the business successes, but it's also legislation that allows for us to bring, through redevelopment, bodies into our towns. You all know that foot traffic is essential to a lot of the businesses, and you need people who are going to live here, who do want to live here, work here, play here. So that's what's going on in Merchantville. Those are the things that we're working on. That's what I think that is why PMAC is critical to our success and Pennsauken and larger community success. It's why your businesses are critical to our success. So I want to thank you all for having me today. I will now cede the floor to the Pennsauken Mayor, Mr. Jack Gilliam.
Listen, I think Teddy, great job, and it's really nice. Teddy played ball with my son, one of my sons, for a lot of years, and we got close with the Brennan family and have shared a lot of experiences. 99% of good times, and every once in a while there was a little speed bump all families go through. But the bottom line here is, as trying to jump onto what you were talking about, when everybody was introducing themselves today, I've been to a few of these PMAC meetings. To me, this today was the most relaxed, jovial, everybody was kind of enjoying one another's, company and poking a little bit of fun at one another. That's what a community is about, and I think that makes our communities, both our communities, very popular. Look at the professionalism around the room, the businesses that are around the room. This is a typical community in the United States of America. This is what makes our country and our community strong. This isn't about the elected officials. We do our part, but you're the bones. You're the cement, you're the concrete, you're the base that makes everything go. You really do. And we're just smart enough in Pennsauken and also in Merchantville, I think, we try to be business friendly. Every once in a while we get accused of not being business friendly, but I'll come back to that a little bit later. But most of the time we really are, because if we can create an atmosphere for you guys and girls to be productive and sell your products and not get beat over the head with all kinds of rules and regulations and things like that, it makes your job a little bit easier, makes you want to be here more. We do get a lot more businesses. I got a list of businesses that came in, but I think it's more important just to talk more about our philosophy that some of the actual things, which is good because I got 2 guys down there. That's their full-time job, economic development. They do it pretty good. They do it really good, and they're a key instrument in our success in Pennsauken. Okay, but then again, I can't forget, if you're not here, none of us are successful. Same thing with Merchantville. Foot traffic, as you talked about. Things are changing in our society. You know, everybody, used to run out to the malls and whatnot, but you're going to the malls now. The malls, I think, are starting to suffer a little bit because, people are tired of driving out there, going there. You don't have the same stores and this, and you see the big box stores closing up and different things are happening. And we've been told long-term, malls are going to be more of an entertainment type thing. You're going to have more movies. You're going to have more like arcade type things for kids and this, that, whatever. And hopefully that'll help benefit the people in this room. People spend more time in their communities, going to the local restaurants, going to the local stores to get whatever. When I grew up, we had corner stores. You ran down to the corner store. It was a great thing. They knew, mom or dad was a little short on a couple bucks. You go in, hey, Mr. Smith, I need, some milk and this. Okay, go on. Take it home, Jack. I'll put it down on the list, and then, later on, mom or dad would go down and take care of the bill. That was a great way growing up. That trust factor, it worked for everybody, and that made our community a little bit stronger over in Philadelphia. So, you guys are great. Thank you for being here. Thank you for working with us. I know a couple of you guys are going to be meeting with John Knight tomorrow about an issue. We raised some inspection rates on rental buildings in town. We found that over 22 years we never raised the rate. We couldn't cover our costs. We're supposed to cover our costs, but it was a pretty big jump, and some of the people in the real estate market owned businesses in town, it affected them. Something that we probably should have looked at closer than we did. We were coming from another angle because there was some people that own properties in town that don't live in town. Some of them don't even live in our country. They own properties in town, and they don't keep their properties up. They rent them out, and they're not very good to the tenants that they rent to. We had enough of that. We're not dealing with that. Everybody that lives in our town should have a level of comfort, not down here, it should be up here. Okay, and that's what we're striving for. But then it came to our attention that it really has affected some of the good landlords, okay, that really care. So we're going to probably do some modification or whatnot for next year or whatnot. But John is going to explain to some of the people that own the properties in town. We have a book this thick with violations and things that some landlords never correct. And it kind of hurts. It's like, when you have the knuckleheads that don't follow the rules and they hurt it for everybody else. Well, we'd rather see the knuckleheads get out of town so we don't have that problem anymore. And we'd rather have more of the better landlords in town. If that's an inappropriate thing to say, well, I'm saying it because that's what we feel and that's what we're trying to do. Because I think our kids, I think our seniors, and I think anybody in the middle, which is all of us, we deserve a certain level here. That if you're going to rent a place in Pennsauken or rent a place in Merchantville or whatnot, you want to feel secure enough that we are on the municipal side with our inspections and things. You're moving into a safe place that you don't have to worry about. You don't have to worry about it burning down or something falling apart. Your children or something getting hurt. But that's kind of, I think we all got to work together. But the one thing is, I commend anybody that had questions and they call. If we don't respond to them, okay, get a hold of me right away or get a hold of whoever's the mayor at the town because we work for you. We really do. We work for you. Without you, we wouldn't have jobs. We don't do our jobs, we shouldn't be in there. You got to boot us out. And that's what we're going on. And the other thing is a lot of us are getting long in tooth, including myself. I'm not going to be around for many, many more years. I mean, physically, I hope I'm around forever, but as far as being in politics and whatnot, over this year, I want to introduce Marco, stand up. This is Marco Di Battista. He's one of our new committeemen. Him and Jesse Raffi were elected this year. Bill Worth stepped down. Bill had some medical issues as we get older or whatnot. And sit down, Marco. I want you to feel like, what's he doing now?
He's waiting for my moment.
All right. Okay. You haven't given me the $20 yet, so I don't know if you're going to have the moment up here. But anyway, and Rick Taylor is in his last year of his term. He's not going to run again. Rick's went through some really tough health problems, but he's doing well. But I think he said once his term's up, he's going to take what's going good and go with that, spend that time with his family and enjoy it and whatnot. So my whole point is we seem to be getting younger on Township Committee, which is a good thing. The ideas that the younger people bring have a lot of merit, have a lot of insight. They're the future leaders of our towns, you know. Teddy's a prime example of that over in Mertzville. He's a young mayor. Teddy, what, you're in your 30s? You're 40, did you hit 48?
This year.
Yes, year, okay. That's right, Timmy's just a hair younger than you. But my point being is, that's real important because it brings a different perspective. And we already gotten it from Marco and certainly from Jessie. Jessie is a professor down at Rowan. She would love to have been here today, but she had classes and she couldn't get somebody to cover for her. She sends her regards to everybody. But I talked long enough. I could be going on forever. Everything's going on in town. We do have a ton of businesses that are coming to town. This past year has been very successful for us. Trudy Painters, nodding her head, you know, but just some recent openings real quick. Flying Crust Pizza and Wings on Maple Avenue, Pennsauken Sweet Shop right up on Haddonfield Road. Lenny Mudd, Terry Larry, Lenny Mudd.
Ceramic.
Ceramic on 130, okay. Oh, that makes sense. Mudd, but I wasn't there for that ribbon cutting, that's why I don't know. Checkers just opened up, Louisiana Chicken down on Route 130. Have been there, chicken's very good. And Got Cut Barbershop, haven't been there because I don't have much to cut anymore, you know. We have some company milestones. Rosenberger, 70 years in Pennsauken. Kitty Junction, 25 years. Colex Collision, I remember when they came. They've been here 20 years on Westfield Avenue, and they do a real nice job. Who put in this here? The Terry and Larry show. I mean, come on. You want some plugs? All right, but I got to do it. They're good guys. Pennsauken Department of Economic Development is ready, willing, and able to help grow your business. You better back that up, guys. As important liaison between your company and township government, our team can help you make connections with local, commercial, real estate, employee trade. And they do. They do that. They help cut out a lot of red tape. There is still some red tape that we all must endure. But Terry and Larry know who to contact. And if they can't make things happen, then they usually come to Township Committee, Marco or the mayor, deputy mayor, the mayor, whatnot, and we tried to help push things along, or at least have meetings to encourage the people, hang in there, we'll get you through this. And I think that's important. And I'm sure you guys are doing that over in Mertzville too. So we have a job bank in Pennsauken residents for employment opportunities. You know, that's very, very important. And last 6 years, $100 million into our community through redevelopment and construction projects. That's amazing. We have been, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, we got the most economic, about $100 million. No other town in the state of New Jersey has gotten that much money. Go ahead, Larry.
The amount of companies. We have the most amount of companies.
Okay.
Yeah, the total figure might be a little higher somewhere else.
Okay. Oh, that's right, because they got the bigger companies.
They got the most projects.
All right, but that's pretty good. And Parado's ribbon cutting, we did that. Parado's on their national headquarters here. Their global headquarters are in Denmark, which I've been invited to go to, but I couldn't. That would have been cool. But I'll tell you what a class company. They do a lot of training. They reached out to our high school and whatnot, and we have culinary arts up there, and they have reached out for some of the kids that when they graduate or before they graduate to come and learn to drive, because they're looking for bakers and things like that. I'm going to end on this note because no one's here from the school district. Our township, we have Senator Sweeney's coming down February 20th next week to our high school because our superintendent for VOTEC type stuff, culinary arts, we have a welding shop, we're doing HVAC, we have electrical shop there now. This is all kind of happened in the last 2.5 to 3 years. building HVAC shop over this summer for, bringing Sweeney down because Arbotech can handle X amount of kids. A lot of kids get turned away. We're trying to get the county and also the state to say, hey, any of the overflow, take them over to Pennsauken. Our schools are second to none. There are modifications that have been done over the years and the things that we have done. When people come in, they're blown away. Pennsauken has a negative perception from certain entities because of our proximity to Camden. It's unfair to Camden, but it's really unfair to us. Okay, you come to our buildings, I'll match them up to any school building, even the ones out in Marlton and beyond, the Shamong, the whole 9 yards. We got quality buildings. We got one of the better facilities going on. We just put a new football field in, track. The track coating at the top part's going to happen as soon as the weather breaks here, and hopefully at the end of February, beginning of March. But my point being is there's such an uplift there going on that we do in our own homes and businesses and whatnot. But we're trying to attract more people. Come to Pennsauken, because that level I told you about before, that's from top to bottom. That's from every business, okay, to our school district, to everything there. We want everybody to come that's here, represent Pennsauken at a higher level, certainly not the lower level.